talking about like, complications in mental health. So it could be because of your genetics. So maybe, your parents, your family members, or maybe, they are very aggressive. So that could be also one of the reasons. Your environment, the place you're living, maybe the temperature is 50 degrees centigrade, or maybe, in your surrounding, there are people who are very tired and they're lethargic, they're lazy. So that could be also the reason. Or maybe your brain is not functioning well. Okay, so brain disorder could be the reason. Next important thing, what I see in terms of mental health problems which can be really treated. It's something like, I've seen people really working about is, can it be treated? Okay, so like people really go for counseling sessions. I've seen, they really go for counseling sessions, and I've seen people, getting a lot of counseling done. Like people feel, okay, what if I'm already stressed? What if I'm already going through those mental health problems? Maybe somebody has died in your surrounding, or maybe, you're seeing a lot of COVID patients. So how to really get out of that situation? I think, there's something like a lot of people, ask me about this. So is there a solution, to that? So before that, I tell them, to see, I'm not a counselor or something like that, but I really recommend them to understand what is going wrong with their life. Okay, so there's a set of questions I ask them. So one of them being, often do you feel very angry or very worried? Do reckless things that could harm you or others? Do you do that, something like that? Do you feel grief for a long time after a loss or a death? Think your mind is controlled or out of control? Do you use alcohol or drugs? Okay. Exercise, diet, and binge eating, obviously. So do you do this, something which really is hampering you? Do you hurt other people or destroy property? Okay, so this is, so ask yourself these questions if you feel like, you're doing any of them. So if any of these things, you feel you're doing, so you really need to take a counseling session. Okay, so you really need to go to, let's say if you're a school going student, you should go to your parent. If you are, struggling with your exams and stuff like that, you should go to a teacher, or you should go to a school counselor, or then physician, if it's related with life. And let's say if it's corporate, so you can go and get a counselor for yourself, right? So just ask yourself, is there any of the questions which probably is going in your mind, and you feel like, okay, I'm doing this, so I really need to go and find the solution for this. So you really need to go to the counselor. This is highly recommended if you feel like this. So this is how our brain is. It's filled with very little information which we can remember. So for example, if I'm giving a 1 hour presentation, 7 minutes is the time where you can maximum remember things. You cannot remember for 1 hour. That's the human brain, you can remember. So that, we have a very limited area of things which where we can remember. So it's about practice. If you do a lot of practice, that way you can really remember. So otherwise you will get stressed like them, very much in pain, in distress, and you have to take Saradon and stuff like that. So this is how the cycle of mental health works with, starting with thoughts, beliefs, emotions, actions, and then consequences. Okay, so this is just a normal structure, which probably you might have seen before. And what are the characteristics if people ask me for mentally health people? First is, I think, they should feel comfortable about themselves, and they shouldn't underestimate their ability. I've seen people saying, business is not for me, or they're saying like, I can't earn on my own. Okay, so these are just negative things. Everyone can do that. It's just you need some guidance. Next is, mentally health people feels right towards other. That means they are able to be interested in others. So try to be interested in others and try to love them, and they are able to like and trust others. So trusting others is something you really need to work on that, and try to get all the demands done. All right, so don't have the emotion of fear, anger, love, or guilt on somebody. Don't have those grudges. So that is something very important for being a mentally healthy person. And this is also something like, I've seen people, every now and then giving me this kind of questions, because they are going through it. So these are the warning signals of poor mental health. Are you always worrying? So when you open your mobile first thing in the morning, is you're worried about something. Okay, so you just say, okay, this that person message you or not, right? Or are you unable to concentrate because of unnecularized reasons? Okay, so you don't know, there's something all of a sudden coming, so you're always curious. Are you continually unhappy without a justified cause? Okay, so You're just thinking, oh, my life is, I'm not working Google. Why is it so? So are you feeling like that? Do you lose temper easily and often? So do you get angry very easily, right? Or are you troubled by regular insomnia? So you feel like, okay, I have a fear of sleep. So, I can't sleep at night and stuff like that. So is it happening regularly? So these are some signals of poor mental health. Similarly, do you have wide fluctuations in your mood? Okay, so today you're happy, tomorrow you're sad, the next day you're crying. So do you have this kind of mood change swings? Do you continually dislike to be with people? Okay, so you like to be alone. You don't like to, mingle with a lot of people. Are you upset if the routine of your life is disturbed? All of a sudden somebody comes in your life and they try to rule it. Or are you upset because this every day you're doing something, but suddenly somebody says, you have to just change all of a sudden? Or do your children or parents constantly get on your nerves? So they're just shouting on you, or maybe they're just trying to get things done, so you're just getting curious, you're getting triggered, and then you get stressed, right? So these are some important things. Next is, are you browned off and constantly bitter? So maybe you're high on drugs or something like that. Are you afraid without real cause? So without even thinking about the cause, you're afraid. So I've seen people really in this pandemic worried about whether they will be getting job or not, whether they will be getting internship or not. So they are really afraid without a real cause. So you really have to work on that, right? It cannot be a vague thinking like that, right? Are you always right and the other person always wrong? Okay, so this is also something you feel, I shouldn't disturb them, I shouldn't tell them my thought process, because maybe I feel that the other person will be wrong, or maybe I am always right. So either ways. Do you have numerous aches and pains for which no doctor can find a physical cause? So this is something you really need to understand, because you are going through a poor mental health if you have any of this things in your life, right? And maybe I've seen people having this alcoholism, right? So people tell me, like, once they get into alcoholism, so it's not my problem. It's just that I love to drink. I just love to take some drinks, and then they get addicted. So you really need to understand, if you have this, try to get away from this, because it hampers your mind, it hampers your physical activities, as well as it will make you very angry at times. It will make you very different with others. So that is not something I recommend in terms of that. And this is how people really have seen people going to parties, joining jobs, because they get those kind of experiences and stuff like that. So try not to do all those things, right? This is in terms of mental health. And another thing what I really wanted to highlight, I've seen, like, people avoiding mostly, like, not doing it, is not writing things every day on a diary. Okay, so I write everything on my diary. I have it next to me. So every day I write goals. I write everything, new things every day. So today I learned, let's say, a technology. So I just wrote it on my diary, saying, like, okay, this is something I have, done it. And every day, try to exit your comfort zones, at least with one area. Okay, so for example, I didn't like to conversate with people of let's say 70 plus years. Okay, so I was not comfortable, let's say, convincing them for something, maybe their old age. Or I felt like, okay, I can get around with people till 68, 69, but I can't convince 70. So I'll just work around with 70 age people, and then try to get out of my comfort zone. Next is leaving your phone out of your sight. Okay, so for one day, try to put your phone out of your sight. I do it every one day. I'll just choose some hours, I'll put it. I'll either put it in switch off mode, or I'll put it away from your sight. This really helps to improve my mental health. Next is buying back time every day. I know this is something people might think, what is buying back time? How can we really go back to our time, right? So it's like, try to becoming a little bit better at every junction of life. So let's say today I wanted to organize 50 things for the day, or let's say for the week, and I have managed to do 5. So there's 45 still pending. So try to get those 45 done one by one, right? So that way you can really buy back time. So let's say in a week you have to do 50 things, you can finish all those 50 things. So try to cross mark whichever you're doing it. So buying back your own time also really helps, right? So make sure you're buying back your own times. And as I mentioned, like, writing daily. So for me also, when I write daily in my journals and stuff like that, I do a very good strategy which I can really recommend right now with examples I'm going to tell you. First thing what I do is I write 3 paragraphs in my journal daily. Okay, so the first wing, What small win can I celebrate today? Okay, so please note, what small win can I celebrate today? So every day I write it in my journal. What specific win can I really celebrate today?